What's up, everybody? Man, it's your boy, Mr. Dugai, coming at y'all with another live Q&A, yo. A lot of things going on, man. First off, welcome. Um, excuse me. Of course, you got the NFL Combine is going to be starting in a couple of weeks, man. Everybody, we on the lookout for that. College football just had National Signing Day last week. The NBA All Star Weekend is this weekend. We just had the trade deadline the weekend that just passed. College basketball is in full effect, man. It's deep in the conference play. Spring training, man, is set to get started soon, yo. A lot going on right now, man. So basically, man, y'all come holler at me, yo. The Miami Heat, fourth in the East, of course, got Andre Iguodala, Jay Crowder, who has been amazing his first couple of games with the Heat. And Solomon Hill, who's yet to play. And LSU basketball right now is tied for first in the SEC. Had two very gut wrenching losses last week at Vanderbilt, at Auburn. And yeah, man. And for the Eagles, man. All or nothing, yo. I just finished watching the All or Nothing series for the Eagles this season. It was some very fascinating stuff. It's 6 hours long, but if you got time here and there, yo, I advise everybody to check it out on Amazon Prime, man. A lot of insightful stuff. It's funny. It was almost like a movie, yo. With this team starting off being 5-7, being left for dead with all the injuries, and then look, bam, win four in a row, win the division, and then had an unfortunate injury to Carson Wentz, and basically get knocked out of the playoffs. But a lot going on, yo. What's up, Chandler Hodge? Appreciate you tuning in. Sup, like Rocket Small Ball. Uh, I like it as far as basically they didn't have nothing better to do. like, um, if they wasn't gonna win. I still don't think they're gonna win now, but they definitely wasn't gonna win the way they was doing things the way before. It makes them a little better, offensively, that is. Russell Westbrook now has a whole lot of room to operate. The floor is completely spread out for him to go to the hole. So he ain't got to jack up as many ill-advised jumpers as he used to. So as far as that standpoint, yeah, they're going to be a little better. But I don't think in the playoffs this is going to work, yo. Because now the problem is defensively, like teams are going to throw it down to the big guy, and it's too easy. It's too easy for other teams, to score. Uh, yeah, they may, depending on the matchup, they may get to the second round, but I don't see Houston going much further than that. But I do feel like hey. they had to try something because that team wasn't going nowhere anyway. So credit to them for swinging for the fences for something different. What's up, Lenny D? Appreciate you tuning in. Cowboys Nation. Oh, there you go. Fly Eagles fly, bro. Fly Eagles fly, man. What's the deal? They talking like y'all don't want to. Dak wanted more than 33 million, man. Y'all better tell Dak, man, to stop tripping and take what the people offering him, man. He up there turning down $33 million. Dak gonna mess around and be a backup in a couple of years if he keep playing, yo. What's up, Conru girl? Appreciate you tuning in. Checking in late to the live. Did you talk about the eggs? No, I didn't. I may check it out this weekend, yo. A lot of people was like, man, you seen the XFL? I really didn't check it out, to be honest with y'all, yo. I'm still kind of like, you know, one of my coworkers brought up a good point to me. At first I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna get my heart invested in this thing after what happened to the AAF, whatever you call that other league that was going on. But then my coworker did bring up a good point where he said, well, the Arena Football League did last for like a very long time, basically. until what, last year or whatever. And the CFL has been doing their thing, for some years. So it's a good chance that this thing may stay. I did see some highlights. It was some impressive highlights. Um, I may check it out this weekend, yo. I really didn't check it out, to be honest with y'all. A bunch of people asked me about it, so I think this weekend I'm gonna give it a little more of a try, yo. LOL, Mr. Dugas, what's up with the Amazon Prime password so your boy can watch Philadelphia Eagles all of that? Get your 30-day free trial, yo. That's what I did. Get your 30-day free trial, yo. You just go in there, enter your information or whatever, and they'll give you a 30-day free trial. And within 30 days, you can cancel. Like, that's what I did, to be honest with you. But yeah, hey, check it out, yo. It's some fascinating stuff. A couple of things I learned about it. Basically, what I don't want to give too much away because I know some people want to watch it. Skandrick is a lot worse than we think, man. Like after watching that, it makes the whole way Skandrick was going on TV talking about Jenkins and those guys, like it makes him look even worse, yo. Like he looks real bad. But yeah, man, go and get that 30-day free trial, man. What QB should Chargers get to old Brady? They may end up with obviously Tua is a better long-term solution. I just don't think that unless they trade up, I don't think Tua gets past the Miami Dolphins at number 5. So as far as more realistically, I'll say Brady. I could see Brady going. If Brady does leave, which I honestly, it's still hard for me to imagine Tom Brady playing for anybody else but the New England Patriots. But if he does, the Chargers could be somewhere that I could kind of see him, play it or whatever. The Chargers got some good weapons, man, offensively. I'm not sure if they're gonna keep Melvin Gordon or not. But Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry, that's some good weapons offensively. It's the West Coast, is where Tom Brady is originally from. I could see that happen. I'd say the better choice would be Tua, but the more realistic choice would be Brady. What's up, Dwayne RTR? Appreciate you tuning in. Who the NBA MVP? I'll go Giannis. If I had to vote today, I would say it'll be Giannis for a second year in a row. To me, and honestly, to me, it's not even really that close. Maybe you could throw LeBron in there, but LeBron and AD, I feel like are canceling each other out when it comes to votes. But I go Giannis. I think Giannis gonna win it for a second straight year. What's up, Sergeant Gibby? Appreciate you tuning in. What's up, Abel Torres? Appreciate you tuning in. What moves should the Eagles make before the draft? We need a wide receiver. There's talk that, me personally, I want Robbie Anderson, but there's talk that we may look into DeMarcus Robinson of the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, I don't know about that, man. I mean, obviously, we bought him in. You would think he would help. He should be better than what we already have going into next season. But me personally, I want Robbie. I think the Eagles need to sign Robbie Anderson. Um, the Alshon, they need to let Alshon Jeffrey walk. I think it's gonna be some dead money against the cap, but I just don't think like we should have him on this roster next season. Nelson Aguilar is a free agent, so he gone anyway. Mills and Darby are free agents that we should not resign. McLeod, that's a sticky one for me, yo. Because of the Jenkins situation, we don't know what's gonna happen with Jenkins. Jenkins apparently wants more money, but Jenkins is an older guy. He's getting up there. Even though, especially watching the All or Nothing, you see how much of a leader that Malcolm Jenkins is, yo. So obviously, if he was to not be back, that would be a huge presence loss, in the locker room. But with that being said, I mean, he's an older player that wants, a significant amount of money. So, we're gonna see how that all plays out. But basically, the unrestricted free agents that you have now, the majority of them let them walk. Jason Peters has to go, another one. Sign a wide receiver, sign Robin Anderson, and maybe like a veteran, cheaper type of cornerback, not like a high profile cornerback, but just a guy that could come in that's respectable, that's not gonna be that expensive, that could provide depth and a chance to start. EDP 445 chose the White Sox. I did see something like that. I didn't get a chance to check out his video on why he chose the White Sox. But I mean, I don't know. I don't really see nothing spectacular about them going far right now. I mean, the Twins, basically been winning the Twins and the Minnesota Twins and Cleveland Indians basically been the best two teams in the AL Central. So I don't know if you could really see them making the postseason anytime soon, really. But I mean, hey, you never know. The Braves was there. He could have picked the Braves, but I guess he went with them. What's up, Brandon Reese? Appreciate you tuning in. What up, Mr. Dugai? Miles Brennan can at least be 50%. Joe Burrow, I think we can go 11-1. What you think? Man. Yeah, if he could be the schedule is a little tough. We do gotta play Florida at the Swamp. We do get A&M over there on the road. We do get Auburn on the Plains. Of course, we got Alabama at home. Uh, he would have to be a little better than 50%. If he could be about 70-ish, then I say 11-1 is a real possibility. Another thing I'm a little worried about with us this season is I need to see who's gonna be the left tackle. The left with Sadiq Charles leaving, the left tackle in the SEC is a critical position because the thing I worry about with Miles is I know Miles has the arm talent. I don't question in a 7-on-7. He'll look better than Burrow as far as just throwing a football, in a t-shirt and shorts. The thing that I'm worried about with Miles is that whenever the O-line doesn't give him great protection and he has rushes in his face, or he's getting, basically he's getting rushes in his face. Can he step in there and make a tough, accurate throw down the field knowing he's going to get drilled? Or can he use his feet and maneuver in the pocket and not necessarily run for yardage, but, buy the receivers more time to get open down the field? That's my biggest concern when it comes to him. Because especially with us going to basically have a brand new left tackle out there. For me, like, if we could get to about, like, man, if we could be 10-2 this season, yo, I'd be thrilled with that, yo. 10-2 this season, and then the following season, either Miles will have that experience under his belt, he'll be a redshirt senior, or we'll have another guy like a big time 5-star freshman or whatever type of guy come in and take the reins. So I think 11-1 is possible, but I think 10-2 is more of like a real chance. If we could get like I said, it could be 70% of him. When is the combine? Because I want to see Henry Ruggs do his. Brandon Reed answered on the 27th. Yeah, February 27th will be the combine. I'm ready to see Henry Ruggs too, yo. That's the guy that for the longest I've basically tied everything to. That's the guy that I want us to have. The one thing, honestly, it sounds funny, but the thing that concerns me a little bit is that I think once he goes to the combine, he may go up people's draft boards a little more. The guy has tremendous speed. He has great bursts. He has great hands. He kind of got overshadowed a little bit, by a guy like Jerry Jeudy on that team. So I definitely cannot wait, to see him out there. What's up, Donald Woods Jr.? Appreciate it, man. Hey, thank you so much for the super chat, yo. I greatly appreciate it. What's your take on Scott Linehan hire? I'm on the fence, yo. The pros for me is that he has a lot of NFL experience. Obviously, he has a lot of experience coaching quarterbacks. He coached Dak Prescott, he coached Matthew Stafford. Back in, if you want to go back in the day, he coached Dante Culpepper, and Randy Moss. So he's coming in with a lot of experience. He's not going to technically, even I got to remind myself of that at times, is he's not technically going to be the offensive coordinator. It's still going to be Steve Ensminger. So it's not like he's going to just completely, take over all the play calling. But of course, the thing that worries me a little bit is that, he's an older guy. He did not do very well his last, couple of years as the offensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe he's too old for this position. But I'm willing with Coach O, after the coaching hire he hires, he's made over the years. He deserves to get the benefit of the doubt for this hire. It deserves to be like, all right, I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna watch this thing unfold before I really, really have a strong opinion about it. But I'm on the fence with it. I was kind of hoping more for another, young up and coming coach that I never heard of, that's gonna come in with all these bright ideas that in the next year or two will be an offensive coordinator for an NFL team, similar to to what Joe Brady did. But with Steve being there working with Brady for a whole year, obviously I don't think we're gonna go away from the offense that we just ran last season that basically set a gazillion offense shattered records and got us a national championship. So, I think a lot of our same philosophies are gonna still be in place from last season. But I'm willing to give it the benefit. I'm not thrilled about it, but at the same time, I don't think it's like the end of the world. I think it could still really work. We're gonna see. I'm really interested to see how things look in the spring game because I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh, it's a spring game. You don't learn a lot." I learned a whole lot from the spring game last season. Watching the way Jambalaya Joe was out there, looking very decisive, going through his reads and throwing the football and running the hurry up. And that's exactly what we did during the season. So I want to see how this offense looks in the spring game. And then after that, I'll be like, well, you know what? I think we'll be ready to roll. I think some good things are happening. Let's see. What's up, Brian Dennis Stadium? Appreciate you tuning in. When I saw UGA play Notre Dame and Vols, I knew they were getting snake bit somewhere in this season. They can say what they want about beating a number 7 Notre Dame, but we saw them play Michigan and look what happened. Yeah, you're right. I had the same takeaway when I watched Georgia play Notre Dame also. Even though, like you said, they won, and at the time Notre Dame basically was a top 10 matchup. It was a matchup that was extremely hyped. I mean, for crying out loud, they hyped up that matchup so much that the LSU Alabama game had to be a daytime game because CBS decided to use their primetime slot for Georgia Notre Dame, which I still think was crazy. But yeah, you're right. They didn't look because I went into that game thinking like, oh man, Georgia gonna just run Notre Dame out the building. They at home, it's gonna be a great atmosphere. We know how we all feel about Notre Dame as far as when it comes to athletes and talented players. But Notre Dame really hung around with them all the way until the end. And like you said, that lets you know that somebody gonna get them, yo. And sure enough, that first half against Tennessee was right there in the game with them. It took like a fumble, I want to say, like in the second half or whatever, that helped. Then Georgia kind of started pulling away. But you seen it for the South Carolina game. Now I didn't get to see that game because I actually went to the LSU Florida game and I was on my way to Baton Rouge during that game. But yeah, like that did let you know that something was up with Georgia. Whenever you seen that. Dak barely deserved 30 million. He's always been a backup plan and starter. I agree, and Dallas fans get pissed off when I say that. But like I told them, I said, I'm gonna tell y'all what. First is gonna be Jason Garrett is gonna be the scapegoat. Everybody gonna get on Jason Garrett. Oh, he suck. All his offensive philosophy, this, that, and all the other. They got what they wanted. They ran Jason Garrett out of town. Jason Garrett even gonna be in the division as the OC of the New York Giants. Now it's all on Dak now because now you either gonna be playing under the franchise. Yeah, got knocked offline again, but Yeah, we're gonna see how this thing plays out, yo. I agree. I definitely think that Dak Prescott is a backup, playing like a starter, and he wants like Pro Bowl quarterback type of money. Which in a way you can't blame him because everybody want to get theirs. But at the same time, bro, you're not that good, man. And you're gonna the more you keep playing without having your big contract, you're gonna get exposed, yo. Joe Burrow said the first thing he get from his check is a chef because that LSU food. Dak better than Wentz. Man, no, he's not. First off, Dak is not better than Wentz. Like, just look at this season, for example. Dak Prescott had all of his weapons out there. He had Amari Cooper, he had Michael Gallup, he had Ezekiel Elliott. Carson Wentz was out there playing with backup practice squad players, and Carson Wentz led the Eagles to the division title. Not to mention his a couple of his best linemen was out of the lineup, yo. Like I understand you're a Cowboy fan and you want to believe that, but at the end of the day, bro, it's factual. Like, ask any non-Cowboy fan right now if they could start their franchise right now with Carson. You don't have nobody on your team right now. Just draft a quarterback right now. Who would they rather, Carson Wentz or Dak Prescott? I bet you 90 out of 100 will say Carson Wentz, yo. Like, all non-Cowboy fans, all non-Eagles fans. Just ask other people. Who would they rather, Carson Wentz or Dak Prescott? If they were starting a franchise today where the quarterback is the first thing you get and then you build a team. I bet over 90 something percent of people would take Carson Wentz going forward than Dak Prescott. And if you wasn't a Cowboy fan or an Eagle fan, you would do the same. And as far as that LSU food, yeah, LSU ate good, man. Like, I seen a lot of clips, man. Those guys ate pretty good, and it's a cool thing how every week they had a different guy got to basically pick his menu, and the whole team got to eat it, man. That was some really good stuff, yo. Let's see. I can't believe they paid Golf Wentz, but not that. I mean, they've been better. Like, now Golf was terrible this year, but Wentz been better. Like, they've been better than him, yo. Like, Dak, like I told people too, Dak should have held out. Like, Dak should have held out. He wanted to be a company man, wanted to go up there, yes sir, no sir. You see Ezekiel Elliott, they bashed Zeke and said all this stuff about him. He held out, he got his money. Like, the offense, Zeke is the one that makes that offense go. Dak Prescott is basically not a good quarterback without Ezekiel Elliott, yo. So, I mean, the guy, I understand you're a Cowboy fan. You want to believe in Dak. I get it. I understand it. The guy is just not that talented, man. With Wentz, okay, he's had injuries. But besides that, Wentz has pretty much been amazing. Like, Dak has not been, Dak is not that great. Look at the Week 16 matchup. Eagles versus Cowboys, basically with the division and the playoffs on the line. Dak Prescott came up with 9 points. Like, he's not all that, yo. That's Dak's fault that he didn't get paid. Exactly, it is his fault because for one, you should have sat out there and held out until you got your money, made sure these people paid you, and then you went out there and had a pedestrian season, went 9-7, and got your head coach fired. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like it's all on. That's Dak's fault, yo. That's nobody's fault but his own, yo. What's up? What's up, Gate City Blue Devil? Appreciate you tuning in. What's up, Mr. Dugas? Greetings from Tennessee. Hey, greetings, my friend, man. Greatly appreciate you being here. Glad you could make it to the live today, yo. I'm so sick and tired of losing to Arkansas in basketball. Yeah, man. Yeah, Alabama, it's been kind of rough for them this season, yo. I see LSU and Alabama play again on Saturday. I see, so that should be another pretty interesting matchup, man. LSU had some real frustrating losses last week. It's no shame in losing to Auburn on the road by 1 point in overtime. But when LSU was up the whole dominating pretty much the whole game and then lose it like that, it is frustrating. And LSU had absolutely no business. I mean, no business getting beat by Vanderbilt, yo. So we got Missouri at home tonight. Hopefully LSU could right the ship. But yeah, Alabama, I get it. Alabama been struggling a little bit in basketball, yo. Threes are good. Third week of the season. Uh, and third Saturday in October, Roll Tide. All right, we're gonna see. I'm assuming you're talking about Alabama, Tennessee. And I can't believe both Golf and Wentz got paid because Wentz showed a lot of promise, and Golf is a year removed appearing in the Super Bowl. Exactly, like exactly. Like what has Dak done? That's where you like, you know what, man? He's definitely the long-term solution at quarterback. I mean, you got people out there with rumblings saying that the Cowboys should let Dak Prescott go and go sign Tom Brady. Like you're not gonna hear people Rams like people saying that from for Jared Goff and Carson Wentz that Tom Brady should come basically for what a year, maybe 2 years, take their jobs. Like that goes to show you everything you need to know. Like the guy is not elite and does not have the potential of those other two guys, yo. Dude, I like the 2018 version of I don't like y'all, I can't stand y'all. Y'all better than the 2019 version. Hey, I don't like y'all. I can't stand y'all. But hey, this year LSU was on top this year, yo. So I ain't had to say it much because LSU basically took the throne this year, man. What a fun season it was, yo. What a fun season it was, man. Every now and then, man, I'll catch myself going back and look at highlights, yo. Um, our best game this season was the LSU Alabama game. That game was just, college football just has this thing, man, of just galvanizing everyone, man. The rival. It's just so much pride that everyone had. And granted, everybody has pride in the NFL team, NBA, Major League Baseball, and all that. But the pride you have in your college football team, man, with all the rivalries and the traditions and all that, man. Like I said, I went to the LSU first game last season versus Georgia Southern. I went to the big LSU Florida game last season. And just the atmosphere, the tailgating, the atmosphere, the people, it's amazing, man. And like that LSU Bama game, man, we was what? We waited basically after LSU beat Texas. Like, we was anticipating that matchup of a Jambalaya Joe versus Tua matchup. It was great going into that game. It was LSU jumped out, was dominating. Alabama made a great run, but LSU holding on and pulled it out, man. And it was just a great season. Just a real fun and exciting season, yo. But yeah, like, hey, us being on top, man. So maybe you ain't hear from me as much, but trust me, the feelings are still the same. Same. I can't stand y'all. I don't like y'all. I'm glad that we won the national championship, and I hope LSU can somehow stay on top of it in the SEC West next season, yo. No Amari Cooper, he can stay over there with the Cowgirls. Absolutely. I do not want no part. I do not want no part of Amari Cooper. I do not want no part of Byron Jones, yo. I am done. I mean, completely done with former Cowboys, yo. I do not want no more former Cowboys on my team. After dealing with DeMarco Murray and his nonsense, after dealing with Orlando Scandrick and his nonsense. Like, I don't want no more former Cowboys, yo. None. There's enough wide receivers in free agency. There's enough wide receivers in the draft to sit up there and mess around with Amari Cooper. All he would do is come to the Eagles and basically be hurt all the time, be overpaid and not producing. I'd rather take my chance on one of these rookies coming out, yo. So yes, you absolutely right. If Howie Roseman is not listening, somebody send this to Howie Roseman. We as Eagles fans, as Eagle Nation, we do not want any former Cowboys, no Amari Cooper, no Byron Jones, period. We taking the SEC West back. Hey, we'll see, yo. I'm looking forward to the matchup. Like honestly, for me, I'm concerned at the quarterback position. I'm not gonna lie. Jambalaya Joe is gonna probably go down and be the greatest quarterback LSU has ever had. So yeah, we losing that. So, but I mean, at the same time, Alabama is losing Tua. Tua could arguably is the best quarterback Alabama has had. He's definitely the best quarterback that Alabama has had in the Nick Saban era. So we both basically got to hit the reset button when it comes to the quarterback position. Alabama has great players, great talented 4 and 5 star players. LSU has great talented 4 and 5 star players. So, hey, I'm looking forward to the matchup again. Hopefully, just like last season, both teams could go into that matchup undefeated in Death Valley. That would be a whole lot of fun. I'm curious if they're gonna put that game at night this season, or because they put it to daytime at Bama, they feel CBS gonna feel like they gotta make it a daytime game at Death Valley this season. Who knows? But hey, I'm looking forward to the challenge. Alabama over Georgia over UGA, number 6 in a row, roll tide. Hey, we gonna see. I think y'all play each other this season too, so they might put that in the prime time game. Who knows? So I'm look. It's gonna be a good one. Raptors, the two best teams in the East. Yeah, I mean those guys, man. Like that's incredible. Like we pick a bad time basically to go on a little 3-game losing streak, man. My Heat, because the Raptors, man, are just running away with the 2 seed right now. Now, granted, there's still time left to be made up. The Heat do play the Raptors for whatever is worth the last game of the season in Miami. Regardless of what happens in that game, if the teams do finish tied, the Heat got the tiebreaker because the Heat have beat the Raptors the first 2 matchups, and we play only one more time. But yeah, those guys on a 15-game winning streak, yo. Shout out to them. Pascal Siakam is an up and coming star. Kyle Lowry been doing this thing. Fred Van Vliet and those guys. But hey, we gonna see. It's a whole lot of season left to be played. After we play my Heat play the Jazz tomorrow night. We done with playing these teams on the West Coast. We done with playing all the big dogs out the West. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this game tomorrow, and then the thing all the games after the break, yo. It's happening. We gonna see. We gonna see. Extend Malcolm Jenkins. He still has the ability to play at a high level, and also extend Jordan Howard. And I agree, Robert Anderson would be a good fit, and draft Henry Ruggs or Brandon Ayuk. However you say his name. If we could get it done, I'm all for it. The only thing I worry about is I don't want us to overpay him to where it hurts our ability, to be able to get to be able to get a Robin Anderson or somebody like that. That's the only concern I have. But definitely, if we could find a way, man, to make the numbers work. If we could find a way to make the numbers work, and get Jenkins back on the roster, because he is a leader, yo. He definitely is a leader. And if you watch the All or Nothing, you will see exactly how much of a leader Jenkins is, man. Jenkins is a natural born leader. That guy is great in the locker room and is a great leader, which is why I say, man, Orlando Scandrick looks terrible. Like, after you watch that and knowing how the team ended, Orlando Scandrick is just a terrible individual, man, to be honest with you. But if we could get the numbers right, yo, I'm all for it, yo. I'm definitely all for it. Yeah, we gonna see. Like I said, I've been Robin Anderson and Henry Ruggs the third the whole way through. Like, as far as Jordan Howard, another one. It depends on the numbers. Because obviously, I think this team wants to go more so with Miles Sanders as the feature guy. But I would definitely like to see another back over there as far as a physical back taking some pounding away from him. I think it's a great chance you see Boston Scott in the Darren Sproles role, next season. Me personally, I feel like he's earned that right. So once again, it depends on the numbers. He started off really good, but he didn't finish great. So I don't know what type of money that, Jordan Howard is asking for. So we're gonna see. I would love to see Jenkins back under the right price. And Jordan Howard also, yo. Um, oh, hey, appreciate that again, Donald Woods Jr., man. Definitely appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much, yo. Did you see Love drafted to the Saints or Breeze? Yeah, no, I didn't see that. Obviously the Saints do need an heir apparent. I got a good look at Jordan Love this year because LSU played Utah State at home this season. So I I mean, I don't know, man. He would be to me. He'll kind of be like a project. We're gonna find out what's up with Drew Brees over the next month or so. I think that's when he said he's gonna take his time to decide on his future or whatever. Me personally, I think Brees will be back. I think Brees will come back one more year. Um, Now I did see something about I think Taysom Hill is a free agent. Um and Taysom Hill apparently wants to be the heir apparent to Drew Brees. Now, if Drew come back, does he trust the organization that he will be the heir apparent? Or is it, hey, I need to be the guy right now or I'm going? That's an interesting dynamic, for us to see. But Jordan Love, obviously he's not, a jambalaya Joe. He's not a Tua. He's not a Justin Herbert. He could definitely be in that next tier of guys. Like the Jake Fromms, Jacob Easons, and those guys. Um, it depends, man. It depends. I probably would want to shoot a little higher than that. If I was the Saints, I would probably either consider Taysom Hill or, just it's tough, man, because they don't, the Saints would have to give up a whole lot of assets, obviously, to get one of those top quarterbacks to replace Drew Brees. For me personally, they should go ahead and just let Taysom Hill get a shot at it. Now, if they want to draft a guy like Jordan Love in the second or third round, then okay, just in case Taysom Hill really doesn't, pan out or whatever, then I get it. I would give Taysom Hill a shot, yo. Me personally. But Jordan Love wouldn't be a bad pick if he like a second round or something like that. Or Michael Pittman. Yeah, he's a solid receiver also. But I just been all in on Henry Ruggs the third, yo. That's just been the guy that I've just been all in on ever since these mock drafts and all these things started coming out, yo. He said he didn't want to pick the Phillies because all Philly teams disappoint. Hey, there you go. I mean, the Eagles, come on, man. I mean, EDP, I get it, man. He's an entertainer, yo. EDP, he's a guy I do follow him. He's an entertainer, man. You can't take him serious. You can't take his take serious when it comes to the Eagles, yo. I mean, the Eagles did just win a Super Bowl not that long ago. Like the Eagles still are the last NFC team to win a Super Bowl. And he was at that Super Bowl. So, I mean, we don't always disappoint. I mean, come on, man. So, I guess the Phillies and the 76ers have been disappointments. So, I mean, I guess I can see him on that aspect. Phillip Rivers to Colts. Me personally, to be honest with you, I think Phillip Rivers should just go on and retire. After watching him last season, I look at Tom Brady, and I know Brady didn't have a great season, and I know that they went one, the Patriots basically went one and done. I look at Tom Brady, and I feel like, you know what, Tom Brady still got something left in the tank. I just feel like he didn't really have weapons out there like that. I know Drew Brees had a terrible playoff game, but I look at the what you call it. He went 13-3. Like basically with only one real wide receiver, and a hobbled Alvin Kamara. So, but I look at Phillip Rivers and I'm just like, man, he ain't really got it no more. Like I don't see nothing in Phillip Rivers' game that make me be like, all right, yeah, Phillip still could get it done. Phillip still could do his thing. I feel like Phillip Rivers is done. Like honestly, I just don't think he got it no more, yo. So me personally, Phillips, me in my opinion, Phillips is just going to retire, man. I don't think nobody basically honestly should waste their time messing around with Phillips, yo. What's up, KB Brown? Appreciate you tuning in. How are you doing, sir? I was wondering, what do you think about LSU's new passing game coordinator? I'm doing fine. Hope you're doing good as well, yo. Um, I, I'm on the fence for it. I wasn't thrilled about it, but I wasn't disappointed neither. Like I said, the pros are that he's not going to actually be the play caller. That's still going to be Steve Ensminger's job. And that he's had some success in his career. He's worked with guys like Dante Culpepper. He's worked with Matthew Stafford. He's worked with Dak Prescott. He had some success over the years, even though he was terrible, as a head coach with the Rams. But the cons is that, after what Joe Brady did, I had my own personal preference. I preferred a young up and coming coach that we never heard of that's gonna come in like Joe Brady and sit next to Ensminger with some bright ideas and a brand new type of way of doing offense. That's how I felt. And I'm worried as far as I started thinking about the Cam Cameron situation, where a same guy, a lot of NFL experience, former head coach, but was terrible. But the difference is, like I said, he's not gonna be the actual full-time play caller. That job still goes to Steve Ensminger. So, and with us winning a championship and with Coach O, making, especially the Joe Brady hire, I mean, you couldn't have get more of a slam dunk of a hire than he did with Joe Brady. So, Coach O deserves to get the benefit of the doubt, when it comes to that. Why are all your sports teams all over the place? LSU for college, Eagles for NFL, Braves for baseball, and Miami Heat for basketball. All right, as far as LSU, obviously I'm a Louisiana native. I'm from Louisiana. I know guys. I personally hung out and grew up with guys that played football at LSU. So that explains it for LSU. As far as the Eagles, the Saints were terrible when I was. Saints were absolutely terrible. I seen Donovan McNabb. I seen Donovan McNabb play in college. At Syracuse, I was a fan. He went to the Eagles. I love the way he played. I've been with Eagles fans since. The Miami Heat back in the day with the Tim Hardaway and the Alonzo Mourning days. I know they always fell short, but I love the way they played and competed back in the day. So I went along with the Heat. And New Orleans, Louisiana at the time did not have an NBA team. This was way before the Hornets came to New Orleans. And the Atlanta Braves, I used to watch them on TBS all the time. Like every day they used to play on TBS. So, and my dad was a big Braves fan. Is still to this day a big Atlanta Braves fan. So there you have it. And Louisiana didn't and still don't have a Major League Baseball team either. So, so there you go. If I do the Amazon Prime 30-day trial, can I cancel at any time without any charges? Yes, you can. Well, at least that's what I seen. Like, I'd be surprised if I ended up getting charged too. But it did say you get it, you could cancel at any time within 30 days. But you got to cancel before the 30 days up, because I think after that they'll charge you like $12.99 a month or something like that. So yeah, just go ahead and get the free trial. Sign up for it. I don't know if you have an Amazon account yet or not. Get your Amazon account. Sign up. Get the 30-day free trial. When you're done watching, or when you're done watching whatever, cancel. And you shouldn't get charged. What's up, young Nola? Appreciate you tuning in. Saints going to the bowl next year. Hey, I don't know about all that, man, but we'll see. It is interesting. The Eagles and Saints do play each other next season too in Philly. Granted, we gotta wait till the schedule release, which I think is gonna be sometime like in April. I think it's usually like a week before or a couple of days before the draft that they release the NFL schedule for next season. Once they do that, then I can know exactly what week it is. But yeah, Eagles and Saints next season in Philly, yo. I'm definitely looking forward to that one. I can't get into the XFL maybe because I don't have a home team. Yeah, you see, that's the thing too for me. It's like it's hard for me to get into like a new league like that because, like you said, you want to have a team, a specific team you root for. If they had a team in Louisiana or if they had a team in Philly, you know, then I'd be like, all right, I could get behind them, but. I may give it a chance this weekend just to watch it without a rooting interest because I've seen some highlights and the highlights looked pretty cool. And a lot of people been asking me about it, and all I could have tell them was that I don't know because I didn't really watch. Um, One thing that I am sure of, I don't want the Dallas Renegades to win. Like, I don't want Dallas to win at nothing dealing with football. So I know it's because they Cowboys being so bad. I don't want them coming in thinking, oh, well, at least we got an XFL team that's winning. No. Like, I want the Dallas Renegades to suck too. And I see they off to an 0-1 start. So that's good. Eagles need Amari Cooper. Eagles do not need Amari Cooper, yo. The Eagles could get better receivers in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Eagles could go get Robbie Anderson. I do not want anything to do with Amari Cooper. I'm sorry. Like, with all due respect to him, I do not want him with it. I will be very upset if the Eagles sign him. Now, granted, if they sign him, I gotta root for him to produce. But I just don't even want to be put in that predicament. Like, don't sign him. Don't sign no former Cowboys, yo. I don't know if the XFL will last. That now, not that it's bad. It's the fact that most sports fans are off of football around this time of year and usually focus on things like basketball or baseball. Yeah, that's true too, yo. Like, you could never you and not just that, we're programmed, like you said, we programmed that, okay, this time of the year, NBA, you just had the trade deadline as all-star break. You're getting ready for that second half surge of the season. College basketball, you deep in the conference play right now, seeing if you could eventually get into the tournament, into the big dance. And like I said, baseball, college baseball is starting up pretty soon. I think softball has actually already started. And spring training is right around the corner. So like you said, you don't want too much of anything. You would never miss it. And in football, I look forward to this. Is kind of like my time to get away from the NFL just a little bit. Until the combine start. Once the combine start, I know the players that the Eagles are based the players in the positions that the Eagles are basically targeting. So I look at those guys, and I also look at the LSU guys that's at the combine to see how they doing. After that you got free agency, and you want to see. I want to see who the Eagles bring in, who the Eagles let go. Then you got that little period, and then you got the draft. See who the Eagles take. See what LSU players go where. See who do what in my division. OTAs, and then you got that little break. Before training camp. That's a yearly routine. Like in the XFL, I get it. People want to see. Have for me that's most sort of people that really don't get into like basketball and baseball like that. Where it's like, oh, I just gotta have football, 24/7. But for me, it's like I'm good. Like we had a good season. The season was fun. Let's focus on a couple of other things right now. And when football is a year round. NFL is a year round type of thing. So we usually just take like a couple of weeks off, basically until something else big is going on. I do not want Amari Quitter Cooper. Exactly. The guy took himself out of a what? Took himself out of what, a fourth down play or a third down, whatever play it was against us. Like, I don't want no part of that guy, man. I'm sorry. I watched St. Louis versus Dallas. Looked like any Look like any top 10 college teams could have challenged either one. You see what I'm saying? And that's another thing for me. It's like the product. I know the play. That's like me watching the XFL is like me sitting down watching a minor league baseball game. Or me sitting down watching a G League basketball game. I don't watch minor league baseball. Now, granted, I know what's up with, I keep a close eye on the Atlanta Braves best prospects, and for the G League in basketball, I don't watch that at all. Like I don't really follow that at all. Because, like I said, as far as with the minor leagues, some of these guys are eventually gonna be playing for the Atlanta Braves. So you kind of keeping an eye on them. It's kind of like, college, if you're recruiting a guy, you kind of keep a little bit of an eye on him in high school. In the NBA, I really don't follow the G League at all. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like it's minor league baseball and it's G League basketball. So yeah, like for me, I know the guys are not. All those guys are basically, with all due respect to them, they basically there because they weren't good enough to be on the NFL roster. So what I respect their hustle, I respect what they got going on, but I just don't know if I could really get into that. What's up, Malik Baker? Appreciate you tuning in. What's up, Mr. Dugas? Hey, just enjoying another live. Appreciate you tuning in, my brother. What's up, Johnny Garcia? Appreciate you tuning in. Do you think the Warriors made a good trade getting rid of D'Angelo Russell and getting Andrew Wiggins? I do. I think it's a good trade. I actually watched them play last night because the Heat played the Warriors last night. So, I got a good look at Andrew Wiggins. I think it's a good move because it's not obviously not for this season because they got the worst record in the league. But I think going forward, it's a good move. I think the Warriors are trying to do more of like a pre-Durant, have the team look like it was before Durant, where, like they trying to make Andrew Wiggins kind of like their Harrison Barnes. And people forget, though, when Durant went there, those guys were amazing. They made two straight NBA finals, won a championship, and won 73 regular season games with Harrison Barnes at the three instead of, Kevin Durant. Next season, they're going to have Steph Curry back. They're going to have Klay Thompson back. They're going to have Draymond Green. They're going to have Andrew Wiggins. And they're going to have a high draft pick in the draft. And they could address their big man situation. They could find them another JaVale McGee or Andrew Bogut, type of big man. And maybe find a wing, or maybe find another wing player to come off the bench. I think it was a good trade, because obviously, with Steph and Klay, I mean, it's really no room for D'Angelo Russell. I mean, none of those guys. The only thing I could have seen maybe, they would have probably let Russell run a little more point and let Steph and Klay play more. Well, Klay already plays off the ball, and let Steph kind of be like a shooting guard. But then that would absolutely, hurt the Warriors defensively. So, like, yeah, I think it's a really good trade, yo. Actually, I think it's a good trade for both teams. Because I think a D'Angelo Russell, Karl Anthony Towns, 1-2 punch is a better match than a Wiggins Karl Anthony Towns. So I think it was a good trade. I watched WWE, and Vince McMahon is a smart billionaire with the XFL, waiting for the NFL to end and have the XFL cover his spot, and still has the main course with the WWE. Yeah, it is a smart move that they started it basically the week right after the Super Bowl, so that people that's just like, I gotta have some type of football in my life. They gonna really tune into it. For me personally, like I said, it's tough because I don't have a certain team I root for. But I'm willing to check it out a little more. I don't know if I'm gonna sit down yet and just watch that over like a top 15, college basketball game or a high profile NBA matchup. Or, I definitely won't watch it over an LSU basketball game, or a Miami Heat basketball game. So, or, it goes into Major League Baseball season. I don't know if I'm gonna watch that over an Atlanta Braves game. So, for me, that's why it's tough for me. But for people like I said that feel like I gotta have football, I have to have it. Hey, it is a smart business move, yo. It's just a matter of time to see if it's gonna actually plan out or not. How are you doing, sir? So, who do you think will be the biggest threat to LSU this season? Obviously, as you would say, Alabama. Alabama still has a lot. Obviously, has a lot of talent. They have another great recruiting class. They're not going away yet. They still got Jalen Watt over there, Devontae Smith, Najee Harris. Dylan Moses. They still got a lot of Patrick Surtain. They still junior. They still got a lot of talent over there. They got some really high-profile freshmen coming in. Florida, I think, will be a tough game playing them at the Swamp. A&M should be better than they was last year. So I think, Auburn, with another year of experience, for Bo Nix. Now they losing those big monsters on that defensive line, but Bo Nix you would think would be a little better this season, and we got to play them on the road. So for me, it's Alabama. I say Alabama definitely. For me, that's how it is for me year in and year out. For LSU right now, as long as Nick Saban is there and as long as he's getting basically, top 5 recruiting classes. So I'll say it's Alabama. I'm taking Carson Wentz. Thank you. Thank you. Most non, Eagles, Cowboy fans are gonna take Wentz, over Prescott, yo. What's up, Zone 3 Dade County? Appreciate you tuning in. Salute, Mr. Duke. Hey, salute to you too, yo. What's up, Jack McGillett, man? Appreciate you tuning in, my brother. Hey, miss you, man. Hope all is well with you on your new endeavors, man. We miss you over here back at work, man. Keep doing your thing, man. Glad to see you joining in on the live, man. How about the Tigers? Hey, how about the Tigers, man? We are the national champs, yo. National champs, and we got a top 4 recruiting class coming in. It's a good time to be an LSU Tiger right now, man. Greatly appreciate you tuning in, bro. Miss you, man. What's up, Cowboy X Factor? Appreciate you tuning in. Hey there, Mr. Dugai. Do you see what Jimmy Butler said to Joel Embiid? If for people thinking, could Joel Embiid go to the Miami Heat? I didn't see it fully. I heard something about it. I didn't get a chance to look into it. But apparently I did see that people are starting to think that Embiid's coming to Miami. I don't think so. Jimmy Butler and Embiid, it's just one of those things where, those guys obviously are still pretty close. Jimmy Butler, could have tell really liked the Joel Embiid a lot. When they played together last season in Philly. I remember that game when they played, the Brooklyn Nets. I think it was like game 4 or something like that, when he just, when he shoved, who it was? Jared Dudley had got into it with Embiid, and Jimmy Butler just went out there and shoved him. Got ejected, basically, to have Joel Embiid's back. So, Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid are good friends. So, obviously, Jimmy is going to be like, hey, come play for us. But I don't think, obviously, he has a long-term deal with the 76. I don't know how many years he have left on his deal, but I don't think that that's the route that Heat are looking to go, though he is a very extremely talented player. I think the Heat are more so focused on trying to get Giannis in 2021. I definitely think that Miami Heat, we are all in on trying to get Giannis for 2021. So Jimmy just being a good homeboy, basically, looking out for his friend. You could tell those guys are still close. But I think we definitely gonna be all right, man. I don't think we really go after Joel Embiid like that. I just didn't think South Carolina was gonna bite them. I thought it was going to be either Florida or Auburn or even Texas A&M. That's one game I really marked them to lose after week 5. Yeah, ain't nobody thought it was going to be South Carolina, to be honest with you. I remember I was driving in the Tiger Stadium in the Death Valley, man. Right when I got out there, I think was when I heard that, I seen people talking about like, man, damn, Georgia lost, man. I'm like, what? Like to South Carolina? And yeah, and remember also, wouldn't they tied with Kentucky at halftime or something like that? They didn't look great against Kentucky neither. Now, granted, to give them a little bit of benefit of the doubt. It was a torrential rainstorm out there, which it seemed like it seemed like a lot of their games rained for some reason. It seemed like it rained a lot for a lot of those Georgia games this year. But yeah, they I didn't think South Carolina needed. I definitely did like you. I don't know if I necessarily thought A&M would do it or Auburn would do it, but I definitely did think that Florida had a good shot of beating them this season. But hey, they got it done. They pulled it out. I think Florida got a shot this season. With them losing Jake Fromm, and Florida getting trashed back and a couple of guys, especially like that tight end Pitts. I think Florida gonna be a little tougher this season. Good luck with Scott Linehan, Mr. Dugai. Hey, greatly appreciate that, man. You could probably tell me a little more about him, than I know a little bit about him, but by you being a Cowboy fan, he was your coordinator the last few years. You could probably tell me a little more about him than me and other LSU fans, a little more about him than we don't know. Now, granted, like I said, the thing is, he's not going to necessarily be the primary play caller, for LSU, but obviously he's the passing game coordinator. So, he's going to have some type of say so, when it comes to this offense. So, yeah, I hope it all works out, Like me personally, I would have preferred another like young coordinator guy that I never heard of before. Because that's what it was with Joe Brady coming in with an innovative offense. But I think with Joe Brady coming in with this passing game, I think obviously LSU see that it works. I mean, I don't even think we could have envisioned it with us thinking as much as it could work. I don't think none of us envisioned it could have worked this well. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I hope it all works out, Texas A&M winning the Natty next year. I mean, I don't know about all that, but now, granted, I do think they'll be better. I think LSU going playing them over there on the road is going to be tough. But nah, I don't know about that. But I do think Jimbo is getting those guys in the right direction, though. Texas. Let's see. Noah Dwayne was talking about UGA. What's up, Trey Lorenzen? Lorenzen, appreciate you tuning in. Duke Blue Devils national champions. Hey, we gonna see, one thing about college basketball this season is, man, it's wide open. Like, it's wide open, man. This may be a year you see like a 6 seed win a national championship or something like that. It's all about who gets hot late. I look at these teams, I don't see one team that's like dominant than everyone else, I don't see one team that's like, oh man, you know what, man? They definitely the favorites, You really gotta fear them, man. I don't see not one team like that this year. I feel like every team, in the country on a certain if you get them in a certain matchup on a certain day, could lose. And I know that's always the case. I mean, the most dominant, like you think about the Kentucky team, that had Karl Anthony Towns, Devin Booker. Who else was on that team? I forget who else was on that team. But that was the Morris, the Harrison twins. But that team went undefeated until they lost in the Final Four. You think about last year, Duke was Zion and RJ Barrett, and Cam Reddish. It's a lot of years that, the teams with the most NBA prospects don't always win. Anyway, so this year is definitely a year that there's really no clear-cut favorites, to win it all. But, we'll see. Obviously, Duke does have a chance. What's up, Derek Anthony? Appreciate you tuning in. What's poppin'? KC, baby, you called it. Hey, congrats to the Kansas City Chiefs, And yeah, I did call it. I was wrong a lot this year, but I was right about that. Shout out to them. I just felt like it was Andy Reid's time. And I just felt like the Chiefs just had too much firepower for the 49ers. Now, granted, to the 49ers, man, they held it down for basically 3.5 quarters. For 3.5 quarters, they held it down. But like I've seen with Kansas City all season and, especially in the playoffs, man, it just takes one little thing to happen, and then it's like they're a basketball team, that goes on like a 12-0 run, a 16-2 run, one of those type of things. Like basically like the Warriors, that the last couple of years before this season, when they had Durant, no matter what's going on, that spurt is coming. And that's how it was with the Kansas City Chiefs offensively. Like no matter how great you played defensively, that little that onslaught was coming. What's up, Tiger Raven 18 2018? Appreciate you tuning in. Clemson versus Notre Dame game was announced for 7:30 at night. 45-14 Clemson. Hey, that's what's up. And trust me, I definitely do. I think the score will be something similar to that. Yo, I agree with you on that front. I do think Clemson will absolutely run Notre Dame out of the building, especially with Trevor Sunshine Lawrence, Travis Etienne, Justin Ross, and all those guys coming back. Malcolm Jenkins is a dog. I don't know if the Eagles will sign him. Well, he's under contract, but he wants another contract. So he said he won't play under the current deal he has. So it's a sticky situation. It's like on one hand, you're frustrated because you're like, man, bro, just because you're a fan. You want your team to be the best that it could be. But at the same time, you understand him being a man who's produced and who's played well, who rightfully has earned the right to want more money. It's tough because this team has issues that we need to solve, and by giving him a whole lot of money, I don't know if that's going to help solve the issues. But he is a great leader, so we're gonna see. Me personally, as long as they don't give him some crazy deal where it hinders us a chance of going and get a Robbie Anderson, or go and get another cornerback for depth or another safety for depth. As long as it doesn't do that, I'm all for bringing him back, yo. Let's see. What's up, Kevin Abreu? I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Appreciate you tuning in. How many games the Heat probably going to win? Ooh, I don't know. Like I gotta look at the schedule, yo. Wow. What day we are right now? What are we? 35-18 or something like that, I want to say. So that's what, 53 games. So we got what, 29 games left. We played most of the Western teams already, especially on the road. We still got, I think, 2 more with Boston. I think we still may have 2 or 3 more with Milwaukee. We only played Milwaukee once, so I know we got them at least 2 more times, maybe 3. We done playing Philly. I don't know, yo. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we win. I say we could go 20-9. With 29 games left, I'm gonna say we could go 20-9. So I'm gonna put us at 55-27. I'm gonna put the Heat at 55-27 on the season, yo. If we could go 20-9 down the stretch. Why you from Baton Rouge or New Orleans? No, I'm actually from a little town called St. Martinville, Louisiana. It's like 45 minutes away from Baton Rouge, yo. Let's see. What's up, Philly Fresh? What's up, my brother? Hey, man, appreciate you tuning in to the live, yo. Hey, for all my Eagles fans on here, yo, y'all go check out Philly Fresh. Go subscribe to his page. He's an Eagles fan, man. He does a lot of great stuff with the Eagles, yo. Y'all go follow him as well as me, man. Y'all go check him out. Hey, he do a great job on his page, yo. Hey, greatly appreciate you tuning in to the super chat, bro. Fly Eagles fly. Restricted free agent Taysom Hill is Jordan Love is similar to Pat. I don't know about him being similar to Pat. I'm assuming you're talking about Pat Mahomes. I don't know about all that, man. But Taysom Hill free, unrestricted. What you said? Unrestricted or restricted free agent? Well, so the Saints should be like that. Basically, the Saints, I think, could match any deal anybody try to give him. So I think the Saints gonna keep him obviously as like an heir apparent to Drew Brees. I don't know, man. I don't know about him being similar to Pat Mahomes. Now, I will say this in defense to that is that I didn't think Patrick Mahomes would have been all of this neither coming out of Texas Tech because LSU played them, and I think what it was the Texas Bowl, and was that 2016. And LSU ran through them. You know, basically Leonard Fournette ran through them. And I didn't really see nothing special about Mahomes that game, to be honest with you. Just seen a guy, running around, throwing the ball. Like I ain't seen nothing, elite about him. But shout out to him. Shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs scouting department. They seen the talent. They knew that Andy Reid has always been a great coach when it comes to quarterbacks. So they figured if they could get a guy with this talent, coached up by a guy like Andy Reid, and give him the type of weapons that they have, there you go. You have a Super Bowl championship, yo. So I'll say that. That's the only thing I'll say in regards to that is that hey, I didn't think that Pat Mahomes would have been all that neither. So that gives Jordan that gives Jordan Love some type of hope for that. But similar to Pat Mahomes, I seen Jordan Love play LSU too and didn't look that great neither. So we'll see, but I don't know about all that though. You probably know the news. Jimmy Butler going to try to recruit Joel Embiid. Yeah, I've seen it. Now, granted, if we get him, I wouldn't complain. Like, obviously, I would not complain. I mean, Joel Embiid is a great talent. I think he's even better than what he's shown. I think a lot of it's gonna sound crazy, but I think a lot of his game is hindered by the fact that Ben Simmons doesn't have a jump shot. Ben Simmons is constantly driving to the lane, and Joel Embiid has to go outside the lane to give Ben Simmons room to drive. So Ben Simmons can't be a traditional, post-up center all the time because Ben Simmons' lack of a jump shot. So I think if you come to Miami, obviously all of our guards can shoot the ball, so Joel Embiid could be a traditional big man. I don't know what is. I know he signed a new contract a couple of years ago. I don't know when he's going to be a free agent. I gotta check that out. I gotta look into that. I don't know if it's 20 if he has an opt out or he's a free agent in 2021 or whatever. I'll see. Like I said, granted, I would not be upset. I would be thrilled if we was to get Joel Embiid. But for me, I think for the Heat, our main focus though is to get Giannis. I think we are all in on trying to get Giannis in 2021. And quite honestly, I think we got a great chance. When you look at the young talent that we have, when you look at, just the Heat culture in general, Giannis is a perfect fit for the Heat culture. He's a guy that always work hard, that always want to keep, striving to be great. That's why Jimmy Butler loved it here so much. So I think obviously I would not be upset. I would be thrilled, but I think that our main option is trying to go after Giannis. GTG, dinner time, later, Mr. Duga and BDS. Hey, later, Dwayne RTR, appreciate you like always tuning into the live, yo. Phillip Rivers, in my opinion, is not a Hall of Famer. He's not in my opinion either. But I also don't think Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer. But all the talk and the chatter is that Eli is gonna get in the Hall of Fame. So it's like, I mean, for me, it's crazy when you think, and it's something Deion said, and it's like, no disrespect to all the guys that's in, no disrespect to their families. I know, that's a humbling, I'm pretty sure that's a humbling experience. And it's not to say that all those guys were terrible. I mean, they were all great players and great coaches and great ambassadors at some point during their time in the league. It's not like they just let absolute scrubs in there. But like Deion Sanders did say, I do think they let people in, man. Like, I do definitely think that it's not as prestigious, as say like the baseball. The baseball Hall of Fame hardly let anybody in. Like, they hardly let anybody in, yo. Yeah, but the fact that, hey, they give a ceremony every year, the fact that there's something they look forward to, the fact that they're not going to just put two guys in. They got to put multiple guys in every year, especially this year. They wanted to do the centennial thing. And shout out to the big homie Harold Carmichael, former Philadelphia Eagles, getting in this year. When you consider all of that, like, a lot of people get in. So I think it's absolutely laughable that Eli Manning is considered as a Hall of Famer. Granted, I know he got 2 Super Bowls, but in those 2 Super Bowls, he made one throw? Well, 2 throws in the first one. One of them was extremely lucky, and the other one the throw to Plaxico Burress was the great throw in that Super Bowl. The throw to Tyreek, man, he closed his eyes up and threw that thing up. Damn, man, let's just call it what it is. The Manningham throw in the second Super Bowl was the greatest throw of his career. That was a excellent. That's an all-time dime right there. But he made 2 throws really his whole career. I mean, like, even in those games, they scored 17 points and they scored 21 points. It's not like he lit it up. You know what I'm saying? The defense played great in those 2 Super Bowls, yo. The defense carried them in those 2 Super Bowls, shutting down the Patriots offense. But it looked like from what people be saying on, you look at people on television, it looks like, yeah, when they was talking about him, it looks like he's going to get in, which I think is laughable. So it wouldn't surprise me if Phillip Rivers got in. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer neither. But, it wouldn't surprise. To me personally, I feel like, man, if y'all let Phillip Rivers in, y'all got to let Donovan McNabb in. Like, that's just factual. To me, Donovan McNabb, in my opinion, had a much, much better career than Phillip Rivers. Has accomplished more. The only thing people can say about Eli over McNabb is he got 2 Super Bowls and McNabb don't have any. But if they let Phillip Rivers in, Donovan McNabb should definitely one day be a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Congrats on 5K, bro. Hey, greatly appreciated, my brother. Hey, keep doing your thing, man. You on your way too, yo. Just keep putting out that great content, man. And fly Eagles fly. Thank you so much, bro. I like to see LSU and Bama meet up undefeated as well, but I'm a little concerned about Florida catching y'all. I love to see Auburn at 10-1 when we play them. I'm more concerned about the Florida game, than the A&M game and the Auburn game on the road. Though I know those 2 games are not going to be easy. Those games are going to be tough. Auburn is always tough. It's always tough for us going to Auburn, yo. Even when it's years when LSU is just completely superior than them. Even if we win, it's tough. It's a 1-possession game. I remember in 2012, LSU was number 2, number 3 in the country. Auburn was terrible, and like we won that game. What was it? I forgot what the score. It was a low score game. I think the score was like 9-7 or 12-7 or something like that, man. I remember it took Eric Reed basically grabbing a guy's jersey to keep him from scoring a touchdown for us to hang on to win that game, yo. So I know going over there gonna be tough. Though I think LSU will be better than Auburn this year. I know A&M gonna be better. I think LSU gonna be better than those teams, but those teams are close enough to us in talent where it's gonna be tough. Especially like I said, especially Florida and Auburn. They got experienced quarterbacks coming back. If I had to compare Oklahoma to an NFL team, it would be the Bengals because they're good enough to make the playoff, but can't win a playoff game. Hey, that's a really good comparison, yo. That's a very, very good comparison, yo. Like, I don't know, Oklahoma, man, like, I think their performance against LSU caused Lincoln Riley a shot at being an NFL head coach. I think coming into this season, there was a lot of hype behind Lincoln Riley moving to the NFL. But honestly, man, I think those days are kind of over now. Like, I don't think nobody is considering him anymore to be an NFL head coach because, I mean, the defenses are just terrible. Like, they are absolutely terrible, man. Like, that LSU-Oklahoma game, granted, I'm excited because LSU be kicking it behind, but then I got to thinking honestly, I got to thinking man, you got teams out here like Alabama, like Georgia, Florida, Auburn. I'm like, man, all these teams would destroy Oklahoma. Like, all these teams are better than Oklahoma, man. But because they play in a weak conference in the Big 12, they get the benefit. They win all them games, and here they are in a playoff game getting absolutely annihilated. Something similar to Notre Dame. Like, because they don't play in the conference, they get to pick their opponents every year. And when they get through and get there, they get annihilated because they don't have no talent like that. So that was my one take with Oklahoma, where it was like, man, I thought about the SEC as a whole. I'm like, man, there's like 4 or 5 teams in the SEC that would beat Oklahoma today also. And they telling me this is the number 4 team in the whole country. It just goes to show you the disparity, man, between the SEC and other conferences, man. It's crazy. Eagles need to fire their GM. Why? Like, they need to fire the GM that just won a Super Bowl 2 years ago. They need to fire a GM that brought in Carson Wentz. Like, that's like one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Sorry. Like, that makes no sense to me. If you had to compare each SEC team to an NFL team, who would be your comparisons? Whoa. Let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna go through every SEC team, but I'm gonna go through the top ones. Obviously you would compare Alabama to the Patriots. LSU, that's a good. You know what? I'm gonna compare LSU to the Chiefs, man. Because you have, you look at like Mahomes. The Chiefs have Mahomes now, and I look at LSU like, obviously we don't have the quarterbacks, but we have the scheme now that allows finally we have a scheme that allows all these 4 and 5-star receivers we've been having for years to finally start really showcasing they talent at LSU. I don't have to wait to find out how good Jamar Chase is in the NFL when I know how good he is now. Like Beckham and Landry, though granted they did good at LSU, we didn't know these guys were this good until they got to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with a guy like DJ Chalk. So that's for one. So I'm gonna say LSU is like Kansas City. Georgia. Georgia is kind of like, I gotta think about this one for a little while. Let me get, dang, who is Georgia like, man? Georgia to me is more like kind of like the Georgia is to me. I'm gonna say Georgia is like the New Orleans Saints, man, where they obviously every year they coming in, they one of the favorites. They got a whole bunch of talent. But for whatever reason, whether it's the refs, whether it's the quarterback playing terrible, whether it's blowing a lead, whatever the case may be, they come up short. Like they come up short, man. So I'm gonna say, that's Georgia to me, yo. They like the Saints. They look great, look like they're gonna get it done, and then they just didn't get it done. Let's see, Florida. I'm gonna go 2 more. I'm gonna go Florida and Auburn. I don't want to go through every team. That'll probably take me all night. Florida. I'm gonna compare Florida more to like the Florida is more like I'm gonna say a team like the Green Bay Packers or something like that, man. Every now and then they pretty good, but they're not quite good enough. Back in the day they used to really be good, like kind of like Florida with Urban Meyer. But now they still good. They get close sometimes, but they don't quite get over the hump. So I'll say that's Florida. And I'll go one more. Let's see who I'll pick. I'll go Auburn. Auburn to me is more so like, let's see who Auburn is, man. Nah, I can't really say them. I don't know, man. You see, that's the thing, man. As far it's tough because in the NFC, it's a revolving door. Like in the NFC, is always a new team coming into the mix, yo. The only teams like the Eagles, the Saints, you could say who's the only teams that made the playoffs the last three out the NFC the last 3 years in a row. I think it's just been the Eagles and Saints, if I'm not mistaken. Because let's see, obviously Dallas ain't make it the last 3 years. Uh, let's see, who was else in the playoffs? Green Bay was their first time making the playoffs in a little while. San Francisco obviously is first time making it in a while. Seattle, they made it the last 2 years, but they didn't make it 2 years ago. They didn't make it the year the Eagles won the Super Bowl. And who else made the playoffs? Yeah, and Minnesota, yeah, Eagles and Saints are the only two teams in the NFC that made the Pro Bowl and that made the playoffs the last 3 seasons. The last 3 seasons, they're the only two teams that have consistently been playoff teams the last 3 years. So it's kind of tough to pick an NFC team because it's besides Eagles and Saints, there's always somebody different. And in the AFC, you know what? I'm gonna compare Auburn to like the Pittsburgh Steelers. But they up there, but you know, they find last year, like for example, they finally beat the Patriots, the Steelers did. But the Steelers' nemesis is New England. And just like with Auburn, their nemesis is Alabama. So that's the teams I'm gonna pick, man. This year is going to be Clemson's first visit to Notre Dame since 1979 when the Tigers won 16-10. But Clemson will blow out the Irish 45-17 at Bryant State. I'm gonna remember that you keep picking that score too, yo. If that end up being the score, man, like I gotta give you a huge shout out. Cause I remember like you consistently pick 45-14. So if Clemson beat Notre Dame 45-14, trust me, I definitely will shout you out and I will remember that you've been picking that score, yo. I really think Clemson will run these slow slugs out. Matter of fact, I'm willing to bet that they will take over their stadium like UGA did in 17. Probably so. And that's another thing I talked about a while back, where it's like that just goes to show you how front running Notre Dame is. Like none of these teams in the SEC, you will never see, especially a team out of conference. You know what I'm saying? You will never see a non-conference team come into our stadium and take over the stadium. Unless it's like one of the bottom feed, unless it's like Vanderbilt or Arkansas or somebody like. Even Arkansas has a good fan base. I'm gonna say somebody like Vanderbilt. It's probably the only SEC school. Maybe a big team from another conference could come there and like take over the stadium. Besides that, like you don't see that with none of the top teams in the SEC. It's crazy. What's up, Wiz KF? Appreciate you tuning in. I'm a Heat fan also. That's what's up, man. Miami Heat all day. Let's go Heat. Big game tomorrow with Utah. Then we got the All-Star break. And then we got 28 games left after that, to make this push, to try to be the 2 seed. Obviously, I think the 1 seed is out of reach. I think Milwaukee has completely put that out of reach. Toronto is trying to put the 2 seed out of reach, but I think eventually they're gonna come back to earth a little bit. So yeah, let's get on this run and try to get this 2 seed, yo. It was so stupid that the UGA Notre Dame game was the primetime game and was so hyped that Bama versus LSU had to be at a. If that Clemson and Notre Dame game does the same thing to us, I'll be furious. Well, I don't think it will because they're not in the SEC, so we ain't got to worry about that. I am curious to see what game they pick to be their night game this year, though. I'm starting to get I don't know. My gut tells me that they may put LSU Alabama daytime this year just because they put it at daytime at Alabama last year. They may feel like they got to put it at daytime at LSU this year. I don't know. I know that's sometimes their way of thinking. So we'll see. Obviously it would be terrible if they put that game at daytime. It was terrible last year, but it'll be terrible if they put that game at daytime again this season. I don't know. I mean, the only other options I could think of them using as a night game is either two other options. Is either Georgia at Alabama or it's Texas at LSU. You know, that's the only two games that I think besides LSU, Alabama, that they would consider moving to their prime time slot. And I also did see like in a few years or so, CBS actually gonna lose the SEC. The SEC gonna go over to ESPN and ABC. So yeah, they should put it at night, but we'll see. What's up, Mary Martell? Appreciate you tuning in, my friend. Hey, thank you so much for joining the live, yo. Bam Young though, Joel will not let Bam progress into an all-star type player again. I think Eli Rivers and McNabb could possibly get into the Hall of Fame. Hey, I agree. I definitely agree with you about Bam, yo. Bam Joel would kind of hinder his growth a little bit as far as allowing him to be a perennial type of all-star. I don't think obviously, I would not be mad if we got him. I feel like we would figure it out. I don't think we would let go Bam for Joel Embiid or nothing like that. I think we'll probably find a way to hang on to both of them. Even though that may not be a great fit, now that I really, really think about that. But I don't think that's the guy we really. I think the guy we really going after is Giannis. I think 2021's class is definitely boiling down to us trying to get Giannis, yo. If we get Giannis, man, like this, we gonna get another championship. Like you could pretty much book that, man. We get Giannis to come along. Obviously, I know we're not gonna have all the players we have now. We may lose like one or two of our young players. But if we could add Giannis to Jimmy Butler and all these young guys, like, and maybe even potentially another good player. Yeah, I definitely think we'll win a championship. And yeah, I feel like that too. I'm like, look, man, if Eli and Phillip Rivers get into the Hall of Fame, Donovan McNabb need to be in there. And me personally, Donovan McNabb is the number one reason that I'm an Eagles fan today. Obviously, I love Dawkins. End up, being my favorite player of all. Eventually, ended up being my favorite player of all time. But McNabb was the guy who introduced me to the Eagles. And me personally, I don't think McNabb is a Hall of Famer. Like if I was the one, voting on the Hall of Fame, I don't think McNabb would get in. And I'm arguably one of the biggest McNabb fans you'll ever meet. But like you said, if Rivers and Eli get in, they definitely got to let McNabb in. Because I feel like, yeah, Eli got his 2 Super Bowls. I get it. But I feel like McNabb had a better career than both of them. What's up? Live in the ATL. Appreciate you tuning in. Hey, everybody, man, y'all go check out Sports Live in the ATL. Big time Braves fan, Hawks fan, Falcons fan. Y'all go give him a follow, man. Y'all go give him a subscribe. He got some great stuff on his channel, yo. Hey, guys, just wanted to stop in and say hello and go Braves. Let's get this 2020 World Series title, my dude. Hope all is well. Hey, you right, man. Let's go get it, yo. I'm just still a little concerned about the third base, man, spot. But other than that, yo, hey, I think we definitely got a chance as much as anybody, to make a real run at this thing this season. No excuse, Dugas, for the Braves to not play better in the playoffs and contend for a World Series Tigers. Go Braves. If you come to Atlanta for a game, I will buy your ticket. Let me know. Hey, I greatly appreciate that, yo. And it's funny you say that because I was considering that, man. I don't know if it's gonna be this season or next season. I told myself that about a week or 2 ago. I said, I'm gonna definitely take a trip to Atlanta, man, either this season or next season, sometime in the summertime to check out a Braves game. I appreciate that so much, bro. I'm gonna keep that in mind, yo. I definitely will let you know if I want to make my way out there, man. I love to kick it with you too, man. Go Braves, chop on, yo. Not bad comparisons. Hey, I tried, man. Appreciate it, yo. Here's my thing with Hurts. He's a great game managing QB, but OU can't win with a QB like that. All you need is one that can really throw. That's why I said they can't survive shootouts with that offense. Yeah, that's true, man. That's absolutely right about Hurts, yo. He is a great game. He's like a Dak Prescott. If Jalen Hurts wants to have a successful career in the NFL, he needs to mimic Dak Prescott. He needs to go out there and play that type of game. He needs a really running game to where he needs to be dominant as a play action passer. That's what basically got Dak the career he's got now. Now, granted, I don't know if he could have, he go somewhere that has that type of offensive line, but or that type of running back. But yeah, yeah, that's true. Like OU, yeah, though they scored a lot of points, that's in the Big 12. Like coming up against these SEC teams, man. If you want to put up points, you got, like you said, you got to be able to consistently, throw the football down the field, and that is something he struggled with, and it was obvious, and I think that LSU game may hurt him as far as, his NFL chances. Some people gonna look at that and be like, dang, he's not a great passer. But at the same time, to be fair to him too, you know, Oklahoma didn't have a great team, yo. Like that team was not like. Granted, I love how LSU played great that day. Like LSU would have blew out anybody that day, basically. But man, Oklahoma didn't even look like a top four SEC team to me. Like just being honest, I feel like like Oklahoma would have lost to Alabama that day. They would have lost to Georgia that day. They would have lost to Florida that day. I felt like they would have lost to Auburn that day. Hell, they had a shot to lose to A&M that day. like that's how I really felt about that Oklahoma team, man. They just really wasn't that impressive. But yeah, Jalen was gonna have to carry a team like that, yo. Um, I would like to see Oklahoma come to the SEC someday. they would get destroyed. Like to be honest with you, they would get destroyed. They come to the SEC, man. They'll get it handed to them, yo. I will be at the home opener April 3rd. That's my birthday. I will be 3 rows from first base. I agree about third base. I have concerns about Camargo and Riley. Shock Josh left. We need Chris Bryant. Yeah, I would, man. If we could get Chris Bryant, yo, that's on my wish list. First off, hey, enjoy yourself out there for that game too, man. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoy your birthday, and I hope we get that win for you, yo. But yeah, I'm concerned, man. Camargo and Riley. I don't know if those guys are Riley. I have a little more faith in Riley than Camargo. I feel like Riley is going to figure it out, man. He came out. He was. I don't know how he is defensively, but as far as his bat, I know when he's on, he's on. Like he's a power hitter. Obviously late in the game, late in the season, team started adjusting. They figured out he struggles hitting breaking balls. I hope that all offseason he worked on hitting off-speed pitches. But I still don't want none of those guys being the everyday starter right now. Like I feel like we are real close, man. I know the Nationals won the World Series last season. Shout out to them. But we ran away with that. We ran away with the NL East, yo. I just feel like, especially with the Dodgers getting Mookie Betts, we gotta make a splash. Like if we could get Chris Bryant, then I feel like, all right, when you think about us having Freddie Freeman, Ozzy Albies, Dansby Swanson, like Chris Bryant, Ronald Acuna, Azuna, and those guys, man. Yeah, like I think we definitely, we in place, man. I think we definitely in place here. Got a real shot, to get it done. But yeah, enjoy your birthday, man. Hope you we bring home a W while you in attendance, yo. Let's see. I saw a mock draft that had Hurts going to the Steelers. I mean, good defense, good offensive line, good running back. He seemed like a Steelers type of player. That may be able. Obviously Big Ben don't have long left. So I could see it working for him over there. Mike Tomlin, a good hard nosed coach. I could see it working for him over there. I feel like Joe Burrow is going to be a buzz. I don't think so, man. I think he gonna be okay. Like I just think that Cincinnati has obviously has to build around him. Um, they got a good running back. They got a couple of good receivers. They're gonna get a good offensive lineman back that missed all of last year. If they build around him, I think he'll be fine, yo. I don't think, and he's in a division that, Pittsburgh is gonna be transitioning to another quarterback. Baltimore is doing their thing with Lamar Jackson, so you got to be worried about them. Um, Cleveland. I don't think Cleveland, though they got a lot of talent. I don't feel like Cleveland is just gonna run away with things. And like I said, Lamar Jackson, man, he doing this thing at Baltimore, so they gonna be a threat. But personally, man, I think he's gonna be all right, man. I think he's gonna be all right. He's a tough nosed kid, a great competitor. I think he's from there, so he's gonna be motivated to put on for that area. I think he's gonna be all right, yo. If OU was playing y'all with Kyler or Baker, it would have been a much better game to watch. I still would have picked y'all to win, but they definitely wouldn't put up much more points than they did. I could see that. I could see that. Especially with Kyler Murray, though. I think they would have put up more points, but like you said, like we were still gonna win them. Like they couldn't, like LSU really and seriously. If LSU would have just went all out, like not took their foot off the gas, LSU could have scored. LSU could have probably scored 100. Like to be honest with you. Oklahoma should have gone 8-4 to be honest. Yeah, like they had, and then they had some close calls in the Big 12. To say the Big 12 was not a very good conference, they had a bunch of close calls over there. People can say what they want about OU's defense being better than last year, which it was, but nobody says surprised about that. They were sitting in the 120s in every defensive category. Their defense is just flat out awful. Yes, it is, man. That defense is just, man, it was too. I know LSU's offense was historic this season, but it was just too easy, man. Even me as an LSU fan, like Oklahoma, come on, man. Like give us a little more of a challenge than this. Like this is just too easy, yo. Screw the Dodgers. I don't like them. I can't stand them. Hey, I'm starting to feel that way too about the Dodgers, man. I'm starting to really dislike them too, man. That's the one MLB team that I'm starting to. Them and the Phillies are the two MLB teams that I kind of dislike, yo. For as much as Lincoln Riley has done at Oklahoma, I think he has to make it to the championship game at some point. You can only make the playoffs so many times and come up short. You see, he in a situation where like he in the Jim Harbaugh situation. Well, I can't even say that because Jim Harbaugh don't even get to the playoffs. But he in a situation where it's like, you in a tough spot where you in the middle. Um, you're not good enough to really give the fans what they really want, but you're not bad enough to where you really on the hot seat. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like where Harbaugh is at Michigan. They're doing better than they did, the few years before he got there. But they're not beating Ohio State. They're not getting to the playoffs. Hell, they ain't even getting to the Big Ten championship game. So, but they beating everybody else, for the most part. They going 9-3/10-2 every year. And you don't really want to fire a coach that's going 9-3, 10-2, but at the same time, like it's kind of like Les Miles back in the day. For us, what did it with us is when Les Miles started losing to teams like Arkansas. Granted, we hate the fact that we was getting beat by Alabama every year. But we knew just losing to Alabama is not going to cost Les Miles his job, even though we felt like he wasn't the guy to get us over that hump. When he started losing to Mississippi State and losing to Ole Miss and losing to Arkansas, when he started losing to those teams is when it was like, all right, he gotta go. And losing to Auburn, that's when it was like he gotta go. So for Lincoln Riley, as long as he keeps beating Texas, you know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna be all right. When he start losing to Texas and and Baylor and West Virginia and whoever else, then the antennas are gonna go up in Norman. Same thing for Harbaugh. When Harbaugh started losing consistently, which he did lose to Wisconsin, I think to Wisconsin, and I think they lost to Penn State this year too. If I'm not mistaken. But if he start losing 4 or 5 games, then the antennas in Ann Arbor gonna start going up. But until then, they doing basically just enough to keep their job, yo. Won't happen at Oklahoma. Brian Denny, I know. I respect them a lot before August night, night the 20th. They kept beating us, so I just don't like them. Yeah, you're right. You're right, yo. I give Harbaugh 2 more years at Michigan. I think if he loses to Ohio State again, they will jump ship on him. I know beating Texas is not the same as beating Ohio State, but you still have to win your rivalry games, though. I agree. You have to beat your rivals, yo. You have to beat your rivals. And that's and that's why Lincoln Riley is going to be okay in good graces, with Oklahoma fans for a while because for Oklahoma they want to beat Texas. In Michigan they want to beat Ohio State, and unfortunately for them, they keep losing to them. So obviously, it's tough. Oklahoma's defense is just terrible and a disgrace. I completely agree with you, yo. It definitely is, yo. But all right, everybody, man, I'm about to run. Greatly appreciate everybody tuning into the live again. Definitely appreciate it, yo. Y'all stay on the lookout for the videos this week throughout the week. It's NBA All-Star weekend, yo. I'm looking forward to that. College basketball is heating up is heating up in conference play. Spring training is getting closer. The NFL Combine is getting closer. A lot of things going on. All right, everyone. Thank y'all so much for joining me on the live again this week. It's been a blast, like it is every week. Appreciate that. Lord willing, I'll see y'all at the same time next Tuesday, yo. Until then, stay tuned for the videos throughout the week. And see y'all next week, man. Until then, yo, y'all have a blessed one.